Hello and welcome. I'm Peter Coy. I'm president of Prodigm, a Zoho certified consultant and partner based in Toronto, Canada. What is automated marketing and why should your company consider using automated marketing? This is the second webinar in the series on marketing automation. If you missed the first webinar in the series, it is available online. We will provide the address so you can catch up. Today we'll be completing the presentation within about 20 minutes or so. After that we'll be putting up a slide which will help you with your queries, and you can contact us and find out about the other recordings in this series. We're going to refer to a number of Zoho or Zoho integrated products, and we center our presentation around what you can do and achieve in Zoho Campaigns and Zoho CRM to gain new clients and opportunities through an automated process. These presentations will also be available on the Zoho website for later review. The previous webinar contained a lot of basic concepts that will help you make sense of the how-to examples in this webinar. You may want to review that presentation even before you complete this webinar, just to fill in the gaps. You can see the first session video link and here, and it's on the sign up page. Please at least sign up for the email series that illustrates this webinar. You'll see that we refer to the examples from that series during this webinar. We have listed some of the major concepts here. First of all, the automated marketing process is a bit like a drift net. It continues to deliver forever until you stop it. But it certainly can be amended and refined based on results, and constant refinement is one of our themes. Note that when we're talking about qualification, sometimes we mean qualify out. Save yourself the time of working on a sales situation with someone who will never buy from you. This idea of never stopping selling until the target tells you to go away. You've worked to get this lead, this contact, to gain their trust, and generally there's no particular reason to stop working with them, assuming that they are a valid prospect for you. It's not like there's any extra effort on your part to work with people. And I wanted to say that marketing and selling are really a continuous and heavily linked process. So we think about this in conjunction with whatever sales processes are going on. One of the concepts here in webinar 1 was to have an individual marketing series which starts based on the date the target initiates contact. So as soon as they click on our landing page and sign up, that's when the marketing series starts. We use mass personalization to make it as personalized as possible. And we do work on this engagement process where we're trying to engage, also quietly qualify, inform about our products, and kind of sell. And this, of course, is a linkage between marketing and selling effectively, because sometimes our outcome is to sell, other times it's simply to qualify and let people know what it is we do, and that speeds up the rest of the sales process. Today, in webinar 2, we're going to show you how to assemble this kind of campaign. We hope it's engaging. Maybe Hypnotic is a bit strong, but we want you to be interested to see the next email in the series each time. You'll see how Zoho CRM and Zoho Campaigns work seamlessly to create the sort of campaign that we demonstrated if you signed up on our landing page in the last webinar. These are 6 key concepts of engagement in building an automated campaign. First of all, buyers buy in their own timetable, and you really can't force that. And they must discover your value for themselves. It's so much more valuable than if you tell them your value, because that could easily go over their head or be ignored. Often buyers are swayed by social evidence. You should always appear likable, trustable, approachable, professional. And I think that sales is kind of it's getting people to trust you enough to give you their money to solve their problems. And last of all, buyers generally want to see themselves as the hero, so making them the center of a heroic story is a pretty good idea. As I mentioned, time is one of the most important elements. And you may not know this, but 50% of sales are made after 18 months and 12 touches. And the automated process can keep you engaged when all other sales teams have given up. For some magical reason, the Fibonacci sequence works to maximize email engagement. And that means the first email goes out on day 1, the second email 1 day later, the third email goes out 2 days later, the fourth email is sent 3 days after that, and that goes on through that Fibonacci sequence which you see highlighted. We've set up a demonstration series that you were invited to join in the last seminar. If you want to experience it yourself, please go to www.prodigm.ca/sales-and-marketing-automation.html, and you can enroll yourself in the demonstration sequence of emails. We will give that later on as well. Today we're going to illustrate how that particular sequence is constructed. We'll show you the landing pages we put together and how the switching from one series to another happens. Our demonstration begins with a sign-up page. People navigate to this page after perhaps attending a webinar like this. And the intent is to intrigue and engage. There are not too many details, we're not trying to tell the whole story here, just enough to intrigue you. Now, from that landing page, from that form, this is a list in our Zoho CRM system of some of the people who signed up on our landing page for the demonstration series. I've blanked out the names and email addresses to preserve their privacy. So these leads signed up and were delivered to the leads section in Zoho CRM, and because of their unique lead source, they become members of this dynamic custom view called Zoho Marketing Webinar. For Prodigm, the definition of a lead is someone who may be interested in buying from us, but who needs a qualification process in order to become perhaps a contact, and also perhaps to create a sales opportunity if we're going to use sales resources to work on a conversion. I like having active leads in my CRM as it really helps when they call us. We already know their history with us. This is the criteria for the dynamic view of leads called Zoho Marketing Webinar. You can see that the hidden lead source field is Zoho Marketing Webinar. So I know exactly where these leads come from, and also that indicates their primary interest in us. This letter is an autoresponder. It automatically is generated by the CRM in response to the form being completed. It is sent immediately the form is submitted. You'll also see the lead notification has been created, so this person is now a lead that we are trying to convert. Because we are selling a high value product or service, it probably also makes sense to auto-generate a task by workflow to remind us to follow up this person once the automated engagement and qualification sequence has completed, or even sooner. We now look at what happens in Zoho Campaigns. Zoho Campaigns is the email service provider product that integrates directly with Zoho CRM. It is a separate product that is used for larger scale email automation and high volume emailing with advanced reporting. This is where we send out our email series. Because the leads were added to a dynamic list, they are synced into Zoho Campaigns system each day. You can see that the mapped list name is Zoho Marketing Webinar, the name of that custom view we created from the leads who signed up on our landing page. As new leads sign up, they too are added to the campaign. To create the series of emails, we start by selecting the type of autoresponder series we want to use. The first type is the sign-up based autoresponder that reacts to a sign-up date when a lead is added to the list. For the subsequent solution series, we start that series based on an email action. So when they click on a specific link in one of the first series emails, the second series will commence. There are other series you can start based on any date field, any calendar event, and those are the other automation autoresponders. Under the Automation tab, we can see the 3 responder series we've set up. The first series that launches 2 emails describe the problem. The second series that launches the solution sequence of emails, that's based on the click. The third series we've not set up yet, but we will set up to send those who open the second email in the problem series. Here is the summary report from the first series. Each series will have its own reporting to allow us to measure and refine what exactly is working and what needs improvement. Now this is the overview of the second series. You can see that the first email, Deeper Secrets 2.1, will be sent 1 hour after the link is clicked in the email in the first series. The delivery time of these emails can be tested in a variety of ways. Perhaps we should deliver it immediately the link is clicked. Perhaps we should try waiting a day. What do you think? We should test both and see, I think. This is the second email in the problem series. The first one was the autoresponder that came out of the CRM. Our target audience should identify with this email. It introduces 2 characters in our story, Mike the salesperson and Jim the sales manager. It introduces a familiar problem. The team that you presented to didn't identify the major reasons for using your product. What is its comparative value versus alternatives? This is the third email in the problem series. It arrives the next day following our Fibonacci sequence. Mike now understands what went wrong. Often, relying on an internal staff member to make your presentation will lead to difficulties, particularly with a multidisciplinary management team. The audience can click on a link to continue into the solution series after reading this one. That takes them to a second landing page. Just clicking on the link is enough to sign them up for the second series, the solution series. And we figure that people who didn't identify with the problem in the first place probably aren't going to click through to the solution series, and they won't be interested even if they did. If our prospects click on the link for the solution series, they arrive on this landing page. By watching this landing page with Zoho Sales IQ, which is a process for watching pages, we can see people who have made the transition from curious to engaged. Note that by placing this landing page in our site, we are inviting further exploration of what we do. The landing page itself can create organic traffic. The first email in the solution series email arrives within 2 hours of clicking on the link. Jim calls on Javed, an automated marketing consultant. In this email, we are establishing that the problem has been identified and that a solution is possible. This email arrives one day later. Jim and Javid have arrived at a strategy to present the right information to the right kinds of people in the meeting. Engineering detail for the engineering folks, financial information for the financial decision makers, and so on. Mostly, Javid is working with existing marketing collateral, that is choosing the right message for the right audience and packaging it. This email arrives the following day. In this scenario, Mike has made the sale. Jim and Javid reflect on what worked. This is the concluding email currently in the series, but we can always add further adventures of this team later. It should be noted that the timing of this series and delivery is all based originally on the initial individual sign-up date of the prospect. That means this series will work forever as long as potential clients are signing up to the initial landing page. The call to action in the Solution Series email is to travel to the Zoho Campaigns sign-up page and perhaps sign up for it. Just to remind you, this is the concept of our sequence. 2 series of emails. The first establishes the problem, the second describes the solution. Creating effective landing pages is an art form and a science. It takes kind of specialist skills to do a great job, but there are examples everywhere of effective landing pages. At its heart, a landing page engages, qualifies, and makes a simple offer. If the offer is accepted, your next marketing process needs to change. So you have to update a controlling category to ensure that the mailing sequence, which are the next steps in the process, makes sense to the prospect. And that is being done automatically behind the scenes because of the click on the email. Different kinds of products and services will need a different strategy. What are you selling? Can you sell it directly? Or is your target, is your objective simply to qualify prospects for a face-to-face sales process? Which methods can you use? What would a landing page look like to tell the story briefly and succinctly? What emailing sequence would provide the proof of your product's effectiveness and engage and qualify the potential audience? Each email must look part of your email series, but should be self-contained in case the recipient has not opened the previous email. The email should present an aspect of the problem that your product can solve. We've talked about the why and what of automated marketing and provided you with a demonstration series of emails. In our next webinar, we'll review it all and see what is possible. We'll also review the results reporting from our experiment. Let me know if you have any questions, or you can contact me at the contact links given here. Remember that if you missed the first presentation, it is available on YouTube. The next presentation that wraps up this series will run this time next week. You'll receive an invitation. And if you haven't signed up yet for that demonstration series, the sign up link is at the bottom of the page. Thank you for attending.